Why are you just now getting dressed? Hey?
Because I do what the fuck I want to do.
Oh, is that right?
Is that right? Yeah, that's fucking right.
Is it? You gonna go watch the Joker this week?
Maybe, I don't know.
I guess we better do the intro thing since John's been doing it. And apparently that's the thing now.
It's been a thing. He's been doing it for months.
Yeah.
Big Beefin' Show, not the Big Beefin' Show.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to that Big Beefin' Show. My name
is important.
My name is Shane, and I like to party. This is Aaron, and he definitely does not party.
Do not party.
I know for a fact he doesn't party.
Well, yeah, I just watched. Shane's referencing Hot Rod for those of you that don't get that movie reference.
It's a movie starred Andy Samberg, Danny McBride, and who's that other guy? Bill Hader,
Jorma Taccone, McShane, Sissy Spacek.
Yeah, those are supporting roles.
So when you get these movies on Amazon Prime, they have trivia, and they tell you all kinds of interesting stuff. And
where's that at? What option is that?
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, what do you have to click on?
Okay. So you have Amazon Prime on your phone or your computer?
Oh no, I use it on my my Roku.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You got to have it on your phone or your PC. There's these tabs that'll come up and it'll go.
How about you don't tell me how to live my life? How about that?
I just told you, so fuck you. Yeah, right. Bunch of losers. It's something that I've seen this movie 10 times, and I've noticed it, but I never really cognitively or consciously thought about it. There's a scene where he's walking down the hallway carrying his laundry, and he's in his underwear, and he's singing a song. I do my laundry with no pants on. And then he knocks on his brother's door, and he walks in, and he's wearing pants.
Oh. I guess
they did that.
I have to go back and watch that now.
Yeah, they're blue.
I'm gonna watch just for that. I'm gonna watch it just for that part.
So you got to skip way ahead, but
I'm gonna watch the whole thing, but I'm just gonna be watching that part. That's kind of like that movie. That movie with Will Smith and Gene Hackman, and the trailer kept saying, "You have something they want," and like it was Gene Hackman just screaming over and over again, like all throughout the trailer. So I finally sat down to watch that movie once. And like, I guess when that part came, I wasn't fucking paying attention. And at the end of the movie, I was like, wait a minute. He never fucking yelled at him. He never said, you have something they want.
Well, there's trailers out there that do that. They throw in a scene that's actually not in the movie.
Yeah, Justice League had a big problem with that.
Yeah.
Like half the Justice League trailer was chopped out.
Well, they ended up changing the whole movie, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. So they had Zack Snyder. He did 300. That was his big comic book breakout movie. And I like 300. I thought it was good, but the reason why it worked for me is it followed very closely to the comic book. So all right, so 300, he's good to go. Then he does The Watchmen, which audiences were split on The Watchmen. I really liked the movie because for the most part it follows the comic book.
A lot of nudity.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit over the top with the sexual stuff, but
that female has sex with like 3 of the Watchmen.
Yeah, well, I mean the Dr. Manhattan, in the comic book he ran around butt naked, like that happened a couple of times, where you could see his like penis and everything because he got to the point where he didn't give a fuck anymore.
Well, why would he? He's a god figure. He can create matter and destroy matter, well, not destroy matter, but manipulate matter.
He's not omnipotent, so he can't know. He doesn't know everything. He can see into the future because he can bend time with gravity and stuff. But he doesn't know everything. He doesn't know what people are thinking. So he did that movie, and I thought it was good. And then he did Man of Steel, and Watchmen and 300 both had good reviews. It's just a lot of the fans didn't really like Watchmen because of how dark it was. But Man of Steel was split. I mean, it was good. Like, it had a good rating, but it wasn't like really good. It was just like average rating.
I liked it. I really liked it. I liked it.
I did too. I didn't like the ending. I didn't like him killing Zod. I thought that was dumb.
Yeah, that was my only problem is that he killed somebody. I mean, Dad even pointed. If someone like Dad can notice an inconsistency like that, then it's got to be big. And when he killed General Zod, I was like, wow, that's totally a break from Superman's entire story. He never kills anybody. Anyway, I like that they picked Kevin Costner as his dad. Henry Cavill as Superman was great. It kind of bums me out that all these non-Americans are getting these traditionally American characters, and it just goes to show the lack of talent that we have in our acting pool right now. But Henry Cavill being Superman was just great. I mean, the dude just works out all the fucking time, and he's playing The Witcher, and he's been posting like videos and pictures of his workout progress, and the dude is huge. He's jacked. I mean, he could be the next Conan Barbarian if he wanted to be. I mean, he's just big. Anyway, and so him being Superman and then wearing the suit, he looked like the freaking comic book character.
A little too much of a pretty boy to be Conan.
Well, you get what I'm saying. Like, the physique is there. Yeah. I mean, he's enormous. He's a big son of a bitch. Excuse me.
Jason Momoa played Conan.
I didn't really like that one.
I like the cinematography. I like the art design. It looked very Conan-ish. That looked like the Conan universe. But the story was fucking great. They overacted. Huh?
It kind of looked like Willow. Reminded me of Willow.
Yeah, I like the design, and I thought he was fine as Conan. But anytime you got who's that guy that was Hellboy? Ron Perlman. Anytime he's in a movie, you risk it being a B movie. I mean, it's just how it is. I hate to say that, but that's what the fans involved. He does B movies. So and then they had the guy from Avatar and Tombstone. I can't remember his name, but he played the bad guy in that one, and he's got like a he's got a country accent, but he was playing a Conan the Barbarian villain.
General. He had a good look. He works out a lot. Yeah, so he was a good pick for the the look, but the sound, and that's just something that I pay attention to. I pay attention to the way that it's all done. You think you got this big name to fill this big role, and it's going to draw people to watch the movie, but then they watch it, and it's like, man, it's shit. And then the reviews go down the toilet, and nobody comes to see your movie.
Yeah, well, it's hard to make a good movie nowadays, anyways, because you got to spend so much money developing it, marketing it, and I don't know. I'd be lucky if I get my shit together and we can do our movie.
You can't even get a guest for Friday.
I could if I really wanted to. I'm just not really fucking trying right now. So, I mean, I could.
So what motivation would you have to do a movie? What would be the thing that kicks you in the ass to get you to make it?
Oh, if I had a guy that said he'll be the director, he'll be the screen guy, he'll run the camera. If somebody came out and said, "Hey man, I'll run your camera for you," fuck it, please have the damn thing. I want to be away from it. I want to be away from behind that fucking camera.
That's the thing about that is that as the director, you have the vision of what the scene should look like, and without being behind the camera, you don't know what it looks like. You can see it.
I need to be seeing, like, from a distance, though. I can't. The problem that I have with the Chalice, and this is my. I mean, the Corn Kernel and Impact movies. Those sucked ass. Those are like fucking garbage. We can throw those off the table. But the Chalice was my first real attempt. That was like, we're making a movie. We're gonna make a movie, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And it was obvious real quick. But so I need. Okay, so it's one of the two things. Either I'm behind the camera. What?
Looking at the fucking camera and smiling. I just couldn't take it seriously.
You did fine though. You did fine. I mean, there's parts to cut up, and that's fine. But it was like Jacob said. He was like, "Yeah, your mom was there, and I hadn't seen her in like 10 years." And I was like, "Yeah, it's kind of a weird situation to be in." But with that movie though, I was behind the camera the whole time, but I wasn't aware of the scene. Like I wasn't aware of what people were doing. I was only focused on the shot. Like I need to get their body in here.
Hey, y'all stop laughing over there. I can hear you.
Yeah, if I'm doing, so it's got to be one or two things. Either I got to have somebody that's directing, like an organizer, or a director who's the cameraman, the cinematographer. So one of those two things. I can't do both. I just can't fucking do it. So if somebody said, "Hey man, I really liked your script," which a couple of people said they liked it. Lexi said she liked it. Regina said she liked it. Daniel said he liked it. So everybody seems, and Gabriel said he liked. Gabriel fucking created that theme song, the one where I'm supposed to be rolling down the fucking hill. No, 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 no.
And the camera's just spinning around and panning out while he's just circling around you. There's a great way to do that. It's with a drone. You just get a drone with a camera on it.
But even he liked the script, and he's a very creative person. So if he liked the script, then that means there's something there. So I would just need somebody to say, "Look, man, I like the script. Let me handle this part of it." And then
we're gonna get Gabriel on the show.
Huh?
We should get Gabriel on the show.
He's been on once as voice, but we had some connection issues. But yeah, I'll try to get him on again. I'll try to get him to download Skype and get him on. And I really would like to pick his brain about it, what he thinks, because it's good to have somebody who's creative like that. Like I'm okay with putting it on paper, and I got an execution, but I really need to do a storyboard. And then once I got the storyboard done, we can work it out, and we can just avoid those problems that we had with the other one. Fucking
people
nuts.
Bringing their costume, not learning their lines.
I mean, that shit was getting.
Just going into the fucking shoot, and the first take is what you get.
Well, I mean, that's also one of those situations where you get what you fucking pay for. And I paid $0 to all my actors. I didn't buy anybody dinner. I didn't fucking have a food cart out there. I don't even think we did water on the days when it was fucking hot. I think I let them swim in my pool after it was over, and that was fucking it.
You had like some beer and some water at your house, and then that was it.
Yeah.
But we had to walk there all sweaty and tired.
Yeah. And it was at the end of filming, everybody was fucking exhausted. And I couldn't. And then poor John, man, it was like, okay, I got to get a ton of scenes with him wearing this makeup because it was a fucking pain in the ass to put that shit on. It took out. You could
tell, I filled in for him that one time.
And I'm like, so that's another thing. Well, and we're not going to do any movies we do. We're not doing makeup effects unless somebody's trying to prove themselves and they volunteer their services.
We got a cousin that's good at makeup. Lexi.
Oh, yeah. Who?
Lexi Owen.
Yeah, she's going to be in the movie.
Well, I'm saying she's very talented at makeup. I've seen some of her work where she was doing zombification and open wounds, and it was very realistic. She knows her shit. Well,
that's another thing. If we don't start get the ball rolling soon, she may back out of it and be like, "Hey, man, I can't be sitting waiting here for months for you to get this shit rolling." But once we get it started, my goal is to get it wrapped up in a weekend. We're just going to spend a few days shooting it and just get it done. It's going to be a short film. I think we're probably shooting for about, less than probably around 30 minutes or so.
You need to do 2 weekends if that's what you're going to do. If you want to do it on the weekend when you have leisure time, you need to do it for 2 weekends because you need to have rehearsals and you need to have enough material to review and chop up and say, okay, they did this scene 3 times. I've got 1, 2, and 3 to go with. Scene 2 works good for this. And then I'm going to match that with scene 1 from the next cut. And then I'm going to match that from scene 3 from the next cut. And then, take 1 and all these other takes instead of just trying to bang it out all at once.
No, I want to get it done, man. I don't want to see what you're telling me right now is fucking stressful, man. I don't want to have to deal with all that fucking editing. That shit.
Then have somebody help you. Have somebody help you. It wouldn't be hard. It's like, okay, I've got 6 hours of footage. You take the first 3, and I'll take the last 3.
I really need to take. I need to put. What I need to do is put the video editor. Just hook up a smaller monitor to my computer so I can fucking see what I'm doing. Because when I pull it up on the TV and I'm sitting there clicking, like I got to sit right in front of the damn TV to. So if I had a computer and I could like go to the part and but now my video software, I mean, it's good. Like it's good enough. Like, I did my puppet show with it. I was able to add in little special effects on that. So I can make it work. I'm just not as familiar with it as I was with the other one. Studio 10, Pinnacle 10. I was able to really work with that one. I kind of had that one down. This new one, it's just called Movie Maker. That one's it's a little bit more challenging. It's not as user friendly. So, yeah, a lot of fucking work to do, man. A lot of fucking work.
And this
and no reward.
Make is for what now? What are you doing this for?
Oh, the Corsicana Film Festival.
And when is that going to be?
In the fall. So I've got to get this shit filmed and I got to get the filming done before May. So that means I got to get. I think I got the cast. I think I got everybody casted. I might be waiting.
Year?
Huh?
Fall of next year?
2020.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna go with a lead female role, like you said?
Yeah, I think that works best because that scene with the hillbillies, it's more believable if it's women. Now I could have a guy in there, but he would have to be somebody who wouldn't stand up to bullies. That's somebody who we could have a third person be a male in there. It's possible.
What's gonna be? Well, you know what? I don't want to spoil it for people. I want them to actually watch it. So I haven't read the script in a while. I don't remember how it goes.
You mean you haven't read the script? not I haven't read it in a while.
I haven't read it in a while. I did read it.
Oh.
You said, and I was really thinking about who I could be in your movie, and I thought, well, I don't know if I can be any of this. But. Well,
I was thinking you were going to be one of the hillbillies, you and John.
I could. Well, me and John.
Yeah.
I could be one of the hillbillies, but you wouldn't want to put John in it. I mean,
you could either be a hillbilly, or you got 2 options or 3 options: hillbilly, historian, or the professor. Those 3.
Oh, I guess you do a dry read and you pick because you're the director. You got a cast. Yeah. So who else have you picked to be in it?
So far, we got Lexi, Regina, John, you. Cliff said he'd help in some capacity. I can't remember which, but he said he'd join in.
These are all the same people from your first movie.
Yeah. Lexi, she's a new one. Lexi's new.
Yeah, Lexi is, but she's the only one.
John had a relative that she's actually trying to get into acting. She wants in on it, so she's going to get a part. Okay. Other than that, I think that's it so far. I'm sure Daniel will do something.
Him and John through the hillbillies, boy. That'd be funny as hell. They're sitting there pushing each other, fighting and arguing.
they pull up in my truck and Daniel's sitting there like just smiling the whole time, and John's wearing. The thing I got to worry about John is him overacting. Like it's like John.
That and his speech pattern.
I need him to be a redneck. Like don't be John pretending to be a redneck. Just be a redneck.
No, just be John. Just be John. That's going to be the best option for you. Just be John. And John will make it. It's like, okay, John, how would you say this line to somebody right here? Think of it as you're saying it to Daniel.
Yeah, let me read one of the lines off so we can see. I mean, you can tell me how you think John would say this. Let me pull up the script real quick. You can see. So
you got to remember John's speech pattern, because there's some words that he struggles to enunciate. And, if you're going to try to make him a hillbilly, you're throwing in another obstacle for him.
Well, just remember, I thought he was going to deliver my moving speech in the last fucking movie I did, and we all saw how well that went down. Go back in and dub it.
I can't believe I filled in for him, man. It was so obvious. I tried my best to do his voice, dude. I tried, but I just don't have the vocal cords for it.
All right. So one of the hillbillies. What the fuck is going on here? Me and brother Justin were down by the creek checking our line when we hear you girls screaming. Then he says, yeah, I remember. You're that girl asking questions about Crybaby Creek. Yeah, well, my family owns this land. I'm Dustin Johnson. Shit. What y'all doing with them candles? This some kind of devil worshiping?
Let me put you on pause.
Yeah.
So my problem that I'm seeing right now is John's not angry enough to do that. Because the person that you got right there is a mean son of a bitch. Yeah. That's what I get from those lines is that character is an ass.
Yeah.
And John's that. So if John tries to be that, you're going to see it. You're going to see that he's trying to be that. So what you got to do if you're coaching or directing for John is you got to get him into a state of mind where he's mad and he's pissed off. What the fuck is going on here?
And then
you're going to like, you know how you can tell when somebody's smiling or they're about to laugh? When John delivers those lines, you're going to hear that he's kind of got some sort of hilarious shit going on in his brain.
Well, we have to be careful though, because the script turns. So at first he shows up and he's questioning him, like, what the hell's going on here? Yeah. And then so he says that line about just what are you? So one of the girls says, we're just doing research for school, okay? And then the hillbilly says, Justin, you ever hear of school with devil worshiping, candles, and a Ouija board?
Why'd you name him Dustin?
Well, it's Dustin and Justin. They're brothers. Dustin and Justin. And
why did you do that?
Because I'm a fucking idiot. Anyways, the guy says, Justin, this would be Daniel. Daniel says, might be interesting if it's a porno, Bubba. And then John would say, that's right. Y'all girls do look mighty fine. All alone out here in the woods. Got the tape rolling. And then he walks over to the girl and starts like, fucking with her. And he's like, come on, girlie. Man, a girl like you, bet I could go all night. And then he makes his move. And then one of the chicks pulls out a fucking gun to his head and then tells him to back the fuck off. And he says, shit, y'all are fucking wild. All right, we're leaving. Damn. I would say just holler if you end up seeing some ghost or shit. But with this dyke bitch, I'll just say y'all better stay the fuck off my property and put those damn candles out. That's a fire hazard. Dirty ass car. And he gets in the car and fucking drives off. The car is dirty because they put fucking baby powder on there to get the handprints. So he makes an insult about their car in anger because he didn't get what he wanted and he leaves. So I don't know if John could carry it. I don't know if he could. He might be better left playing Justin, and then you could take on Dustin. But then y'all ain't brothers. You're cousins or something.
Well, so if you put me and you in this movie, people are automatically gonna be like, hey, they look fucking just alike. So you can't do that.
I think I could do Justin. I think I could handle that one. But you would have to do you'd have to do most of the talking because I'm bad at that kind of shit. I'll fucking ruin it.
You think so?
Yeah, I just don't know.
I mean, it's your line and your character. If I think anything, you would know how to deliver those lines.
Yeah, well, I thought that with the fucking ogre, and like when I would get up there, I couldn't think of what the fuck I was supposed to say. Yeah. And my guy was a fucking retard. Like he spoke broken English.
It was a lot of work for you to memorize those lines and try to act it out, especially when you don't know how a fucking ogre even acts.
And that's what I'm saying. This scene is supposed to build up tension. We're wanting to make it awkward. We're make it be like uneasy, where you're just like, I don't like this here, and I don't like what they're saying.
What I'm feeling is a little more cringe, and maybe if you added some stare downs, and not like where the camera's looking at your face and then looking at that face and then back and forth. Not that shit. Where they're just like looking at each other and they're licking their lips and the girls are like looking at each other and like, what the fuck? And
Yeah.
then, somebody makes a move. It's like, back the fuck up. Anyway, so aside from all that, if you wanted to be my cousin in the movie, that could actually work. And then I play the one that gets all, mean and angry. Yeah, I reckon I could do that.
So if we did that, though, they're not going to have John do something else.
You can have him do something else.
He'd have to be the.
You rely on him anyway.
He'd have to be the professor or something.
No.
Like I told you, I got 3. I got hillbilly. I got 2 hillbillies. I got a professor. I got a historian. Oh, there's a family guy. There's a guy who his family's part of the legend. Like his dad owned the property or some bullshit like that, or he's a descendant of this chick or some shit like that. So it's possible. So that we could branch that out a little bit.
Yeah, you have to. One, you have to allow your actors to make choices in the scenes that they're in, but you also have to be willing to experiment and manipulate the scenery to match your expectation, because you don't know what you're going to get until the actors get out there and start trying to do things. And once you get out there and start filming, you'll see what I'm saying. But I guess that's all I got for now, at least.
I wonder if they still sell Ouija boards at the game store, right? Like at Walmart and shit. They still sell.
Look it up on Amazon. You got Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I'll have to get one. That's another thing. Props, fucking baby powder, car, Ouija board, candles, gun. You know.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
What's that about? You got to wrap it up? You got to go?
No. My girlfriend's talking about a friend of hers that's having some drama down in Houston.
What's going on in H-Town?
Her friend of hers is she's a drama queen. There you go. She's got too much money and doesn't know what to do with it. Well, she does know what to do with it. She spends it.
No, she spends it all on her own money, and now she has no friends because she has no money because she buys all of her friends.
Anyway, so I'm interested to see. I've always wanted to do a comedy, and if we could ever get something like that going, John and Daniel would be the greatest addition to something like that. Just Daniel picking up a stick in the woods, hitting John with it, smack, smack, smack.
Yeah, I'd have to think about well, if we did a comedy, we have to figure out what is our objective. What are we trying to do? What's the story we want to tell?
Yeah, sure. Because most comedies don't really have a story. Don't have an objective. Anchorman didn't have an objective, but it was funny as fuck.
Anchorman, the premise behind that was making fun of news anchors back in the 70s.
Well, you got a point there.
How corny everything was.
Yeah,
That was the objective behind that.
Suits.
Talladega Nights was about a race car driver. The Big Lebowski, which that's more in line with something we could actually do, was just about a bum on this crazy ass adventure. I mean, that's more in line with what we
Friday's kind of like that. Friday's not really about anything.
Right. Yeah, it's just a one day. It's somebody's adventure throughout a day. Now that is something, and you just introduce weird characters. Now we could do that.
John Daniel would be fantastic for that.
I don't think we have a problem with doing that. What we have a problem with is setting up the story, because I wouldn't want to be a Friday ripoff. I wouldn't want to be like White Friday where we not as fun.
Going to the Target store to buy some bullshit.
So that wouldn't work. We would just have to have, what are we trying to do? And we'd have to work that out. But I don't know. I haven't really thought of a script for a comedy. I haven't really thought what would be funny. There was a time where I was throwing around like we have like a house party, but we're too old for that now, so we've already missed that fucking window.
Don't look too old. Your hair's not gray.
Yeah, but when you think of party movies, it's not grown men with kids. It's usually, college age.
Yeah, I look college age because I'm so short.
No, you look like you're in your 30s.
You're the only person that thinks I look my age. Everybody else says, "Yo, you look like you're 25." 25 is college age.
No, I think that's people who aren't around 25-year-olds very much.
They're just not around me very much. Yeah.
Me too. So I don't know, man. I don't know what we could do. I mean, we could do like a crappy real life superhero. That hasn't really been done like at a comedy level. Like somebody tries to be like, you try to be a superhero and you get your fucking ass kicked or something.
Kick ass.
That wasn't a comedy though.
But it was funny.
Some of it was. But it wasn't. Well, they weren't trying to be. Wasn't funny when they fucking killed home dude Nicolas Cage.
Batman.
Yeah, that shit wasn't funny.
Burned his ass alive.
You know, so I mean, that one's kind of a. But yeah, I mean, it has been done, so it wouldn't be original. We could try like that. And again, I'm just pulling from other ideas, like being a pro wrestler, like I'm Ready to Rumble. You know, that guy who wanted to he didn't want to be a pro wrestler. He wanted to bring the King back into wrestling. But we could say like somebody's got ambitions to be a wrestler, but then we'd have to rent out a ring and go up to the mat and all that bullshit. Unless we did backyard wrestling, and we were like, "This is the backyard." That's what we could fucking do, man. We could, Josh. They used to actually have a backyard wrestling league.
So did I.
We could set up like we were this bullshit local backyard wrestling thing. It's unofficial as fuck, and like we make it seem like it's a real deal. And so we have like fucking characters, like John and Daniel be a fucking tag team. And,
the Dudley Brothers.
And they walk it like go into a backyard, and you know we got like some tables set up or some bullshit like that, and it's fucking chaos.
The Pims. Oh God, those Pims. They're so awful and vile and stinky.
Well, that's what I would need. I would need two good announcers, where you have the camera following the wrestlers around, but then you have two announcers that after the movie is shot can provide the voiceover work.
So Zach Inman, when we were kids, was really serious about wrestling, and he came up with a backyard wrestling league for our age. He had me, David Lassiter, Brandon Cullen. We signed a fucking contract, and Aaron Emerson. Aaron Emerson signed that bitch too, and he posted up pictures of that shit on Facebook. And that's been over 20-something years ago, dude, and he kept that shit. Anyway, so if you're thinking about this track going along this path here, yeah, I know two guys off the top of my head that have actually done amateur wrestling and have been, recurring wrestlers at various amateur leagues in Texas. Brandon Cullen and Jamonte Gentry. Now, Jamonte is about 150 pounds, so he kept getting hurt. And he was like, I don't want to do that no more. So I don't know how willing he would be in getting back in that. But Brandon Cullen would be a shoo-in. He'd be the guy to go to.
Well, here's the other caveat. Most of our people aren't going to really know what the fuck they're doing. So
that's why you need experts. Brandon Cullen, Jamonte Gentry. They'll tell you all about it.
Essentially, the movie ends up being a stunt movie. Like, it's just stunts. But we can so what we do is we focus on a guy who's trying to get into the business. Like, he wants to be a pro wrestler, and he's going to join the backyard wrestling league because that's his chance to get in. And so he's got to come up with a character, and he's got to, do all this shit. And they make him like he's a little bitch boy. They're like, hey, man, go wash my underwear or some nasty shit like that. And they throw like dirty underwear in his fucking face. And he's like, but I want him to be like angry all the time. Where it's like, son of a bitch. But like nobody takes him seriously.
Mr. Fury.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's angry all the time. But he still has dreams to be a wrestler.
Until his face turned red.
Oh man, and how funny would it be to have like he's in the ring for his first match and he's like in the corner getting ready, he's in the backyard and he's like getting ready, and all of a sudden fucking Michael Pimentel walks in and the fucking like loud, like Gabriel makes some loud beat music playing and shit, and like Mike comes out of nowhere with a fucking steel chair and just bashes him right over the fucking head.
Bam!
It's fucking.
They're laughing at him. Walks off.
It's one of those fluorescent light bulbs and smashes it over his back.
That can be very fucking dangerous. I want you to know that.
Well, we may have to get your buds if they're interested. And I know people too in pro wrestling to give us some pointers. And Josh, my friend Josh, he ran a backyard wrestling league. Get him in on it to see how to make it work.
Red was into backyard wrestling. He's one of the most non-aggressive people I know. I didn't expect that from him.
I got video of him actually doing it. It's pretty fucking funny. That's the reason why it's called Red. I mean, that fucker lights up red. I mean, he's just fucking red. And he's like, the whole time he's grappling, like he's just like grappling a guy.
It was funny seeing him be the magician.
Well, that could be his wrestling character. That could be his wrestling character. He comes out like a fucking top hat and shit. And
one of those wizard hats and robe.
Now, the problem with Backyard Wrestling League, if we do it, is going to be extras. That's where we're going to have the fucking problem, is getting people to...
Well, Bill Hader had that girl play his sister. She just had like 3 or 4 lines.
We could probably get...
I
could probably solve some of that with having like our nephews there. They could probably fill some of that. But we would need like a
Brittany wouldn't want Logan in that at all. Brittany would be like, nope, you ain't having him in that.
Well, the problem with the kids is they're going to want to get involved in the fucking matches, and they're going to sit down and shit.
Yeah,
and it's like, we got to sit in these
chairs.
chairs.
A kid off of you. Get off me. Although that could actually be kind of funny. You got like 10 kids running up on the stage, and these grown men, got to push them all off of each other.
Yeah.
Stop, get off me.
Everything erupts into fucking chaos. And then like, it could be like a scene like where it's getting ready to be like a title match, but the neighbors get pissed, and so they call in the fucking cops and like somebody in a
Hey,
police...
what do you guys got going on over here?
Yeah, what the hell is this shit?
Yeah,
And,
you ain't got no permit, and there's no waivers. Yeah, we're shutting you down. Kind of like when the cops showed up at the movie theater and Rod had tossed the projector out and it landed in that dude's car. He had to give all the money away that he raised.
Yeah. So we'll have to have like we'll go when they're going into the backyard. There's got to be like a big fucker sitting at the gate, like taking the money and shit. And just like, actually, that'd probably be a better role for Michael. He'd probably just be the gate man, just taking the money.
Yeah, they try talking to him. He doesn't say anything because he can't fucking hear. He just looks at him.
Right.
They walk in.
The perfect doorman. It's like
stop money. Okay,
like you'll come in and tell him all the bullshit you want to tell him. He can't hear a fucking thing.
He doesn't say anything and just lets you go in. Everybody's like, "Yeah, what's his problem? Oh, he's deaf. Well, what the fuck?"
Yeah, we could do backyard wrestling, no problem. We could do it. Like I said, we just need the bodies for extras.
Go to Kearns. You'll find plenty of them that are willing to do it for free. The Harrison boys would do it. The twins. Yep.
Well, I got to get somebody's back. Well, the good thing if we did it out in Kearns, wouldn't have to worry about the neighbors calling the shit in. Like I couldn't do it in my backyard. The neighbors would call it in. I think John,
down the street from the house we grew up in, and ain't nobody gonna fucking care.
Yeah. Well, we'll work on it. We'll get something. We'll get something going. I gotta pick one project though. We either do Backyard Wrestling League or we do Crybaby Creek. We can't do both.
Crybaby. We already got people for Crybaby Creek. I was just thinking of a comedy sketch that would be really funny further down the road.
Why don't you come up with some plot lines for the Backyard Wrestling League? Why don't you come up with an idea? Put something on paper.
Well, because I'm working on a script for StarCraft.
Look, I'm gonna tell you.
I know that's not going to be a reality with me in it, but if I pitch it to Blizzard and they want it, I could sell it to them. People sell scripts all the time, and then a few $100, fuck it, I'll give it to them to make my movie.
Let's focus on the shit that we're actually working on now.
That is the shit I'm working on now. That and the Apothecary novel.
Backyard Wrestling League. That's your big break.
Yeah, you gotta crawl before you can run.
Yeah, you're trying to get in the fucking Ferrari. You're not even trying to run. You're trying to fucking win the damn Indy 500.
Yeah, right. Well, if the script's good, which I think if you wanted to do a StarCraft movie, you would have to kind of do like Aliens, the sequel, right? But without the cheese, without cheesing it up, fucking Bill Paxton, game over, man. You got to do.
I don't know how it works though, because StarCraft is kind of cheesy.
Yeah, but what you got to do is with with the goal that I was thinking of is, kind of taking some pregame and then some early game scenes where they first discover the Zerg. Then you want the tension there because
Now,
it's strange aliens.
if you were going to write a Warhammer script, you could do that. But if you're doing a StarCraft script, you got to have humor in there too.
You're thinking more like stupidity, huh?
StarCraft can't be all badassery. It's got to be some funny shit that happens.
Yeah, well, I guess for my vision would be, some snarkiness, some cheesy jokes, but for the most part, they're in a political crunch because before James Rayner became Marshall Rayner, he was kind of a criminal, and so he's trying to straighten his life out. So he's got to deal with that drama, and then he's dealing with local politics and authority. And then they find the Zerg, and then they got to fight the Zerg, and then next thing you know, he's meeting Sarah Kerrigan, and that would be the sequel. That's where you move into the next movie when Arcturus Minx shows up, and they got to be saved and all that trash. Anyway, but that's where you could really build the suspense because the Zerg are ambush aliens, they're ambush creatures. They hide in the ground and pop up, and so you can have these scenes where they're like going through different facilities and they're crawling out of the shadows or whatever the fuck. Kind of like that video that they have where they're on the space vessel and they're trying to blow it up, and then all these Zerg just come out of nowhere and kill everybody. We're all dead. Blow it. That's my idea.
That's your opening scene right there. That's how you open it.
Well, I was thinking if I had an opening scene, it would be the trench war where the Marines down in there fighting Zerg and a battleship's flying overhead. Yeah.
But that was the intro to the video game. You're just doing the same thing that's been done.
Well, yeah, and so that's kind of what I would do is I would follow the game lore because that's the more popular.
Well, nobody cares about Warcraft. Warcraft didn't do too well in the United States.
Yeah, well, I didn't like the way that they did it at all.
But that's how it played out in the story.
No, not exactly.
Yeah, no, that's how it happened.
No, not exactly.
The only thing they changed was changing the orcs' skin color.
No, not exactly. There's quite a few things that were different.
No, it's pretty much the same story. Like when the humans first showed up, they were getting their asses kicked. Then they showed up in armor and on horses, and they were actually able to win a battle.
Don't look this shit up.
So, yeah, I got some crazy ideas for Backyard Wrestling League, but we just have to get it figured out what we wanted to do.
Yeah. That would be fun. I think just because you have so many friends that have all this knowledge, you would want to get somebody like Zach Inman, and I know you may not want him in on this, but just his knowledge and his exposure to the genre would be very, very good to have on hand. He's watched it just as much, if not more, than you have. I mean, when he was a kid, he had wrestling belts and toys and all kinds of stuff, and it was all WWF and NCW and WCW and all that trash. ECW. Who's behind you?
Here's the thing with Zach, though. I don't know if he's focused. I don't know how well he'll fit in with the group. Most of the people are going to be pro-social individuals that are doing well in life.
You don't think he's doing well in life?
I saw him at Thomas's funeral. And the answer,
how long ago was that?
like 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, you never know what's happened in 2 years. He and Mom got along pretty well.
I got a pretty good idea what's happened in 2 years. Nothing. So, and then the downside to that is, and that's another thing, is finding the perfect backyard to do it. Yeah, that's another problem.
Are you going to use a fucking trampoline?
Well, that's how Josh did his, but I don't know if that works.
Running around on a trampoline is not a good idea.
Yeah, I think what we have to do is, I guess we got to build some type of arena, right? Some type of rink.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do they? But they don't do backyard fighting. They don't use arena. They just fucking throw down in the backyard.
No, it's usually, so there's a channel I follow called Street Beefs. But they do MMA, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling. They do all that, and it's just a dirt ground with wood privacy fence around it. And then they do the boxing ring. It's a small ass ring in somebody's backyard. You can see a road down the street where cars are driving by. You rode down the street, a road out in the distance where cars are driving. And I guess they just have a permit to fight or whatever. I don't know.
And that's another problem is how many of my friends are willing to get dirty? You know, how many of them are willing to get rolled around in the dirt and fucking, you know, do all that shit?
Well, I would suggest that you don't do it on the fucking ground because somebody's gonna break a bone. Get like a tire pit or a rubber mat or some shit.
Yeah, get like some gym mats or something. I don't know how expensive those are. So I mean, again, we also have to keep budget in perspective. And that's another thing. We're not going to have money for costumes. Like we're not going to be able to do anything.
Everybody supplies their own costume.
Yeah, you got to create your. That could be part of the hook. Is you got to create your own wrestling character. Like we'll have the storyline. We'll have the storyline, and we'll know like who we're focusing on. But you have to create your own team, or your own person.
And we'll showcase all these amateurs that want to join the other amateurs in actual wrestling. And, you know, you got all these folks that want to do it. And so they make their debut beating the fuck out of our movie star. He's getting beat match after match.
Yeah, that's what that's how the movie, that's how it would start. You know, somebody would be like, hey man, Backyard Wrestling, we're doing really good. We're opening up an open casting call. If you want to join the team at Backyard Wrestling, come on down. And so then like this guy shows up and he's like, I want to join. And they're like, man, you're too small. And he's like, fuck you, I want to join. And they're like, all right, dude, shit, calm down. Like, just fucking make him so over the top. And he just gets so prone to anger. Like, I want him to be like the fucking angriest guy in the world. I want him that's not right. I'm not doing it. This sucks.
You're cheating. You're doing the same move over and over again.
Like, the fans end up fucking hating his ass. Like, he's supposed to be the underdog. We try to push him as being, they're like, man, just shut his ass up, I
see what you're doing here.
People throw a fucking tomato right in his face, like a big old.
That would be funny as shit. You slow mo it too, so as soon as it hits him,
You get like one of those cream pies and just throw the fucking pie.
Oh, okay, yeah. One of the wrestlers is actually a clown, and when he beats him, he puts a pie in his face. Who's laughing now, fool?
That's his finisher. Like when he gets you on the ground, you're like, oh. As soon as you look up, bam, right in the fucking face.
And then, and not only does it, he clotheslines your bitch ass too. When he does it, bam, splat. It's like a twofer. He clotheslines you and then smashes you in the face with a pie.
Again, this comes back to, how physical can the boys get? We don't want to hurt each other, but we also want to make it look, and it doesn't have to look super realistic. I mean, fucking wrestling.
There's stage combat that you can practice. And you just got to rehearse. I mean, when it comes to this kind of shit, you got to rehearse this stuff. So, I mean, there's a scene where in Marvel Avengers, the first Avengers movie, where Loki, Tom Hiddleston, has got that huge helmet with horns on it. And no matter how many times they did the camera angle and Thor punches him, it just doesn't look believable. And so Tom said, you're just going to have to hit me. So he just hit him. And he didn't pull it back either. He decked his ass. So you gotta practice this shit is what I'm saying.
Well, thankfully I know some people that do that train with martial arts. So I know some people that probably would be down. Like I could get Brandon, my buddy Brandon. I'm pretty sure I could make him like a
Is he bald headed?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I could make him like the main bad guy, the main heel, and I think he would be fine with it. Huh?
Didn't you try having him in a movie before?
Yeah, he played General Agtar in The Chalice.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he did pretty good. Yeah, and I think our cousin Brandon Hargrave, he said he did a little rolling around too. So we could probably get him in there.
You need to get him on the show. He said he would do it.
I'm planning on going to watch the Joker with him this weekend.
Well, tell him about your podcast. You ain't got to tell him the name of it because that's gonna tell. He's not gonna want to do it. But you can at least tell him it's like, hey, I got this podcast I do on Skype. All you gotta do is,
what's wrong with the name?
You know what's wrong with it.
The podcast has been around for a year almost. We've made about $10, and you're saying the name's not good enough?
I'm not going over this again. Anyway, where are y'all gonna go watch it at?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Got to plan it.
Yeah. Actually, do something about it this time. Were you doing any more work on your book? I really want to finish The Apothecary. I really want to finish that one.
No, because what I'm doing instead is I want to get an audio book of the first volume, the first the first three stories of Alistar. That way I can correct any of the editing issues, and I can finally put out a legitimate finished copy without all the bullshit. Because I know you changed some fucking shit in there. Like, I had to go back in the scene in the battle where the dwarf Karen, her eye gets popped out. Like, you took all that out. And I was like, I want the fucking eye popped out. And you're like, it's too violent, it's too gruesome. I'm like, I want it to be violent and gruesome. I want the eye dangling. That's kind of the whole fucking point.
And I knew you originally had that somewhere, so I sent it back to you.
Yeah. I don't know if it's in the final. I know it's in the final product because I went back in and fucking made sure it was in the one that I uploaded to Amazon. That shit's in there. So
is some other stuff that I added.
But hey, if we can get these next two movies made, Amazon, they'll let you put your movie up on Amazon. There's some shit movies up on Amazon right now. They'll do it. They'll put your movie up there because there is a market for bad indie movies. And,
I like how you're being upfront about that.
There's this one Asian dude in San Francisco, and me and Sarah have watched 3 of his movies, and they're all pieces of shit. But they're so fucking bizarre, and they're so bad. But Amazon puts them up there.
See, that's just not the market I'm in, man. I don't like watching really horribly done. I'm not like Mystery Science Theater, where they want to sit there and look at bad movies and talk about them. That's hard for me to do. When I watch a movie, I want to be entertained. I want to watch it. I want to see how well they do. I want to see how they put the story together. Maybe see some dramatic moments or some really good jokes, or maybe some badass artistry. That's the whole purpose of me watching a show. And so when these bad, horrible, awful movies come out, I can't watch them. I don't have the patience.
There is an entertainment value in something being so terrible, it winds up being funny because it's like, how could you think that was a good idea? How could you think that would work?
So The Room with that one jackass, I forget his fucking name, Tommy whatever. That was just a rare occasion. That doesn't happen every year. Or even every 5 years. Sometimes movies just suck.
Well, Sharknado, that one ended up being a fucking multi-million-dollar thing.
And they made, 5 or 6 of those damn things. But then every movie, like Tropic Thunder made fun of that when their lead actor, Ben Stiller, what was it, that volcano movie?
Yeah, it's like something 5, number 6 or 7 or something.
They had like 7 iterations of that. Yeah, it was dumb.
This time, it's over.
For real. This is so dumb. Anyways.
So I've gotten into it wasn't a serious debate, but like one of my friends had posted this about that Canadian guy that got in trouble for wearing blackface back in the 80s. And they're like, come on, man, it's just at a party. He wasn't being serious. It's just different times back then. And people are like, that doesn't matter. It's offensive. And I'm like, well, nobody complained when Robert Downey Jr. did that shit in Tropic Thunder. Like, nobody cared. So how come he gets a pass?
Well, the whole time, the other actor that's actually black is giving him a hard time about it.
I know, but it still was done. Like, the problem is the intolerance level is so high, people don't even care if it's funny. They're like, just the act of doing it is wrong. So how come he got away with it in that movie, but nobody else did.
I guess because he's rich. I don't know. Or the fact that the whole movie was a farce, that it was meant to be satire the entire time.
I mean, you can get away with saying racist stuff if you're being funny. Like C.K. Lewis is an example of that.
And where's he at now?
If he hadn't have fucked around with some girls, he'd still have a big TV show, sell out tours.
And what racist comments did he make? I don't remember hearing anything. I watched the show.
What happened when he was in the museum?
And he pressed that button. That was supposed to be an art exhibition, though. He didn't make that joke.
Whose voice was it?
So the idea was that no, he wasn't saying anything racist. It was the implication that he said something racist.
But whose voice?
No, that was me.
Whose voice was heard over the thing?
It wasn't him.
That was him. It was his own voice.
Was it his voice?
Yeah. That's why I was so freaked out.
I didn't know that. I thought he was freaked out because other people heard the button go off, and they were going to think that it was him.
he had a bit in one of his specials where he's like, "I just love saying that word. Like when I'm talking about somebody making my coffee and they do a really good job, I'm like, man, that can make the shit out of some coffee."
Oh. That's awful. That's awful. Well, I guess, the more famous you are, the easier it is. I don't know. I don't even try to toe the line. I stay far away from it. I can't believe he actually said that. Well, I mean, I can believe it, but God, that sheds a new light on that.
Yep.
And watching some of the clips on that show, there was a scene where he was out in the water and somebody had to kind of drag him back because he was getting drug out to sea. He was directing that scene while he was in the water with the camera crew around him. I was like, dude, man, that's so much work. Golly, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, he, it is what it is. When you jack off in front of women, you're going to get what's coming to you. So whatever.
You did get what's coming to him. Everybody shut him down. Like, we don't care if you apologize. You're a jackass. Don't make any more shit.
Well, that's one of those things where you've got your money, you've done well, you just back out. Get rid of the yacht, sell the yacht off, move out to the country somewhere, and just raise your kids, and you'll be fine.
Yep, retire. Just retire.
Yep. That's what Josh Hart did.
Is Daniel ever going to come back on the show?
Well, he's been sick. He's got allergies issues, and they also fucked around with his schedule. Now, he's supposed to be off the next 2 days, so he might show up tomorrow night. He might be on tomorrow. But he's also wanting to do more of his puppet stuff.
Fucking cease and desist letter. John was pissed about that.
Fucking the tragedy that shook up Navarro County, man. That's fucking.
So did Michael actually send him a cease and desist letter?
No, that didn't get done yet. Again, I've been fucking putting shit off. I've just been slacking, man.
I've gathered that.
Hit and run, get it done. Got about 50 guns.
But you're not getting anything done. You just said that.
I got a fucking kid, man. It's hard to do this shit.
He wants to go walk down the street.
Tonight I had to clean the bedroom because Sarah's thinking she may have to stay in the bedroom more because she's getting further along in the pregnancy. And that took a while because we had to clean up underneath the bed and everything because he's going to crawl up underneath there.
And your in-laws are coming back.
Yeah, so I had to clean up their station, their area, because it was just, I was getting tired of looking at it. So And clean that up.
They've been gone for how many days?
About 2 months.
They've been gone for 2 months.
Yeah,
God
they
dang.
go. They don't stay here all the time. They come and go.
I thought they were just gone for like a week and they were coming back early. I would have been pissed. So y'all need to stay gone longer.
No, they were going to be gone until the end of October.
Shit. Oh, I heard that they were having problems on the road. At least they're all right.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah.
All right, boy, we're going to wrap this one up. Solid episode.
Yay.
High quality.
Yep. Talking about stimulating topics.
That's what we do at the Big Beefin' Show. Again, to all the listeners that made it this far into the podcast, thank you for sticking it out. Like I said, and Daniel agreed with me, there are some golden nuggets in the show. You just have to sift them. You have to take your little pen.
Chew on some tweed, spit into a bucket.
There's gold in this show. There's gold. Solid gold in them hills.
Bite on it a little bit. Make sure it's real.
What you got to do to get the full benefit of Big Beefin'. Aaron Southeast Third on Anchor. Big Beefin' at B Beefin' on Twitter. Facebook and YouTube. It's so funny.
You had trouble saying that with a straight face.
Saying what was straight, but you're over there fucking laughing.
Man, whatever. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, man.